Hello everyone and welcome to the Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. As the election season winds down to the end, I have to say I've developed quite a bit of empathy for Senator Barack Obama. He and I actually have a number of things in common, not the least of which is being deeply concerned about major pressing social issues of the day. I've experienced some of his pain firsthand. Let me explain. Like my friend Barack, I want to make a difference in the world. In fact, this past weekend, he said he can, quote, change the world. Now, I wasn't quite that ambitious. I just wanted to change General Motors. You see, some of our studios are here in Metro Detroit, Motown, and I sensed the need for change. As Barack sees a once great America on the decline, I see a once great automaker on the decline. So, like Barack, I decided to set out and change everything without even being asked to do so. I too woke up one morning, looked in the mirror, and told myself, I am the change we've been waiting for. So I did what Barack did. I sent off my resume to General Motors, to the people who would decide the fate of their once great company. I told them, in a very nicely worded letter, that I was the change they've been waiting for, and I want to be the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer, the top dog, the head enchilada, run the candy store. That's me. It's just what Obama did when he announced he would run for president. He sent his resume to the American people. And here's where there are more similarities between Barack and me. I went back and checked my records, and I have exactly 143 days experience working with General Motors on a contract basis. That's just like Barack. In the past 4 years, he has been in the U.S. Senate exactly 143 days in 4 years. Thank God for Barack. Without his audacity of hope that with such little experience he could still be the leader of the free world, I would never have had the audacity to apply to be the CEO of GM. Barack has given me hope. So what did I do during my 143 days at GM when I worked as a contractor? I told them about the change they needed to undergo. I never stopped talking about it. Now, it's true I never got specific about it, but change is what's important, not what you're changing to. When I would sit in on marketing meetings, I would bring absolutely nothing to the table, just like Barack. During my time at GM, I never authored one single piece of marketing strategy. When it came time to make the tough decisions on dumping one car line or another or laying off people, I was always present, just like Barack. Some of my esteemed colleagues did seem a little upset when I published my second book about myself on company time, but hey, we're talking about change here. But it was very obvious to my friends in the automotive media that I was the guy to lead GM back to respectability, so that all GM's friends around the world would once again look to the American auto giant for leadership. So imagine my surprise and dismay when this letter rolled up in the mail from GM. Dear Mike, thank you, but no thank you. The board of directors has determined that a mere 143 days of you sloughing off and promoting your own self-interests is not enough experience to make you a viable candidate. Respectfully yours, General Motors. How dare they? I know it's at work here. I haven't wanted to mention this before because I'd hoped we could move beyond a certain type of perception. And Barack knows what I'm talking about. Remember when he said lots of people were nervous because he didn't look like all the other presidents on the currency? Do you remember that? You know what he was talking about. Racism. Well, Barack and me, can we talk? I know exactly what he's talking about. You see, most of the people at General Motors headquarters in Detroit are University of Michigan football fans, and I went to Notre Dame. I look different than they do. It's written all over me. I am a Notre Dame American. You can't help but notice. I didn't want to say this, but I have to. Michigan is having a lousy year, the worst in living memory. These people at General Motors who rejected me are bitter Wolverines who do nothing but cling to memories of their deceased coach, Bo Schembechler. And then I come along, looking to be their leader, looking all different. So they pull out the Fanism card. They're a bunch of Fanists. You know the kind? They make prejudgments about other teams and their supporters. They sit at home when their team has lost and complain about every other team that wins. And this prejudice makes them bitter and mean. Ladies and gentlemen, we must put an end to the politics of fanism. It's tearing the country apart. Please join me in my effort to unite the world of college football fans. We need change we can hope for, and hope that we can change as we proceed down the hope-filled road of change. We must put an end to the partisan cheering that divides the college football world and has divided it for all these years. 143 days of experience, not enough indeed. But seriously, folks, imagine being on the board of directors on one of the biggest companies in the world and getting a resume from a middle manager applying to be the CEO. And to mention, he was an absolutely do-nothing manager at that. There's an old saying in American economics, as General Motors goes, so goes the nation. We can only hope. Come November, remember Obama, soft on terrorists, but tough on fetuses. I'm Michael Voris.